So for my Music 102 class, you have some assignments that are due soon. If you click on the Assignments tab, you can check and see what assignments are actually due. They're all on the same page. The Unit 4 drills and quiz is what we're working on right now. For some reason, it's listed above the midterm exam, but just know that we're on Unit 4 drills and quiz now. So go ahead and click that, and you'll see a whole bunch of exercises you have to complete. So the first one is Music Theory Drill 8. This is your scales. If we just open this up, you'll be presented with a scale. So there is no key signature on these scales, so you have to actually figure out what type of scale it is based on the actual flats or sharps in the actual piece. So in this first example, we start on D flat. So that tells you right away that it is a D flat scale of some sort. It's either going to be major, natural minor, harmonic minor, or melodic minor. So the way you do this is you have to figure out the key signature for D flat major. And you can use a circle of fifths. You can use some of the resources I provided in the textbook. There's actually a list of every major and minor scale available, so you can do a compare contrast sort of thing. But the goal is to ultimately learn how to identify these very quickly without having to use external resources or a key to check on these. So if it was a D flat major scale, you first have to figure out how many flats are in that scale. So in this case, a D flat major scale should have 5 flats. So if you know the order of flats, it's B, E, A, D, G, C, F. So we check for B, E, A, D, and G. So those are the first 5 flats. If you have all 5 flats present, then you know it's a major scale. If not, you have to look a little further to figure out if it's natural minor, harmonic, or melodic minor. So let's go ahead and check to make sure we have 5 flats. We've got a B flat, an E flat, an A flat, a D flat, and a G flat. So we have all 5 flats. So that means in this case it is major, and you'd select major. So what if it was a natural minor scale? What would be different about it? The third, the sixth, and the seventh scale degree. So in this case, the F, the B flat, and the C would be lowered by a half step. If it was harmonic minor, then you would use the major scale and you lowered the third and the sixth scale degree. If it's melodic minor, you lower the third from the major scale on the way up, and then you use a natural minor scale on the way down. So all this information is in the textbook. You can learn about this. That way you should also watch the lecture on Unit 4 so you can learn how to do all of these assignments properly. So let's go back and go over everything else. So Unit 4 quiz, you can only take that one time. It's going to be based on the content in the textbook. It is open book, so you can actually look at your textbook if you need to while answering that. For the key signatures, it's the same thing. You just start this, and you have to identify, in this case, the minor key signature. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sharps. So one way you can do this, if you know your major key signatures really well, is you can just use the major key signature and then go up to the 6th scale degree of the major key to figure out your minor key. So if you know that 7 sharps is C sharp major, then you just go up to the 6th scale degree. So C, D, E, F, G, A. That's the 6th scale degree. Since there is an A sharp on the 6th scale degree, that makes this A sharp minor. So all you do is you write A sharp. And if you need instructions on this, you can click the instructions. So don't use any spaces in your answer. Use a pound sign for sharps. Use a lowercase b for flats. If there's no sharps or flats, just use a letter name for the key. So in this case, I wrote A sharp. You just save your answer, and then it'll take you to the next question. So in addition to that, we have the perfect fourth, perfect fifth, fourth, and major and minor third that we have to identify. So for these oral drills, you're really just trying to identify the intervals using comparison. And on these drills, RO drill 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3, you should be taking these several times a day until you can score above a 90%. If you're not scoring above a 90% on these drills, you are not doing enough in this class right now. And the way to improve is to practice. So if you're really having difficulty with these, then what you can do is you can go over to the workbook and you can download these mirror exercises. So the mirror exercises will allow you to concentrate on one interval at a time. There's audio and sheet music for it. Play through those every single day. Listen to these while you're watching TV. Just have them playing in the background with the understanding that you are in fact listening to a perfect fifth or a perfect fourth. Over time, you will start to be able to recognize these intervals, but you need a lot of exposure to them. You really need immersion to learn to identify these intervals accurately. In the meantime, you should be taking each one of these drills at least 4 times a day if you're not doing well. And if you do that, what you're going to find starts to happen is that you start to recognize the difference between the various intervals that you're hearing. But again, it just takes time. All right, so we went over the quiz. For the performance, you need to sing daily routine number 4, rhythm number 4, and sight singing number 4. So that's 3 exercises. So you can use the audio files for the daily routine. For the rhythm and the sight singing, you're going to need to peck out those notes on the piano if you don't have a good ear right now. And just do your best submitting those. I will submit comments after you've submitted your performance to help you improve for future performances. But for the most part, I just want to see that you're attempting the performance. I pretty much give a pass or fail grade for these. So as long as I feel like you're making a decent effort and improving, you will pass the performances. And it's a lot of work. I understand the daily routine's about 7 minutes. Rhythm number 4 and sight singing number 4 are about 2 minutes each. So you're going to have a recording that's about 10 or 11 minutes. If you need any information on how to submit, right here, you click that link. Here's information on preparing for the performance, locating the performance, what performances you should be submitting. And I'm asking that you only upload your file to Google Drive. If you want to use YouTube and add a link to that, that's okay too. You don't really need to worry about the file name formatting. It's nice if you can follow this, but I'll be able to identify who you are because there's not too many people in this class. So there's all the information you need. Please review that for uploading your files. And then for your dictation 4, the dictations are all located in the workbook, I believe. So we go to the dictations. We're working on dictation for Unit 4. So you see there's 2 of them. There's dictation 1 and dictation 2. So what you're going to get is an audio file. And then you need to use either a handwritten, write it out on staff paper, or download a computer program like MuseScore or something like that so that you can work on your dictation and then submit it. If you need staff paper, there's staff paper right here. You can download that, scan it when you're done, and upload it. So everything that you need is here in the website. So let's go back to the assignments, make sure we covered everything. Unit 4 drills and quiz. There is no homework for Unit 4, so you can ignore that. I'm just going to exempt that grade. For Unit 5, there will be a homework assignment. I'm going to have you write out all of your major and natural minor scales. So that's a lot of scales, and it's going to be a big assignment. But it's really critical that you write these out by hand. For those, I do not want you to use a computer program because there's nowhere for me to know if you actually wrote them out or if you just transpose the scale using the tools available in the notation program. So that's it. I need you to make sure you're keeping up. If you click the lectures link and you click YouTube playlist Music 102, you can go and you can see all of the videos for this course. I'm actually going to be uploading a new Unit 5. If I'm able to get around to that this week, I'll do that. But for now, you should listen to Unit 5. We're talking about intervals in music. And then the final unit will be on triads, inversions, and figured bass. So keep up the work. Remember, this course is really based on whether or not I feel like you can handle Music 201, or if you get above a 75% in the course per the syllabus, then you will also pass the class. So remember, it's just pass fail, but it's very important, even if you take this class more than once, that you develop these skills to be able to handle the content in 201. Because once you get into Music 201, things progress a lot more quickly. There isn't really time to go over a lot of the ear training basics. You're expected to continue to develop your ear on your own. We do some exercises in class, but it's not really enough with the amount of theory content that we have to address as well. So it's very important you have a thorough understanding of your major, minor scales, intervals, and triads before you go on to 201.